It's learning to just sit and be present and be alone and not be anxious, not be insecure, not needing some type of stimulus. I think one of the hardest things for most people is just to sit in your own thoughts. And if you're struggling with an addiction, if you have behaviors that you're not really proud about, that is going to become even darker to sit in, because when you're alone and you're not being stimulated, what comes to the surface? All the things about yourself that you don't like. But if you could learn to sit in that for a little bit, I think there's real power in doing that.
Absolutely. Because as you know, it's not about the porn. It's
Nope.
not about the porn. It's not about the porn. It's a symptom. We're using
Mm-hmm.
it to numb, cope, and escape. And then if we sit there without doing anything, our challenges that we have may come up, and we may actually have to feel our feelings.
Mm.
Imagine that, feeling your feelings.
Yeah. Are you a Jordan Peterson fan by
I
any reason?
love him. I know
Yeah.
some people don't like him, which I don't get, but I love him. I think he's great.
Yeah, well, he talks a lot about facing your demons and dragons, right? And when those thoughts come up when you're in alone, those are your demons, those are your dragons, and I believe men, we're called to conquer those dragons and demons. Little boys are scared of the demon in the closet, right? They're scared of the dragon underneath their bed. So if we could learn to sit, be present, and realize, like, if something is coming to us, that's probably because it needs to be figured out, solved, overcome, not just suppressed down and then pushed deep down. Because at some point it's going to get to the point where it's gone all the way to the bottom and it's going to erupt. And I'm sure you have moments like this where you've been very destructive, anger, tantrums, and all that. That's a byproduct of just not being able to sit and listen at certain times.
Absolutely. Talking about the dragon, we are trying to slay the porn dragon, slaying the porn dragon. And when I started the podcast, I had my little mascot made up, little wiener man, Raging Richard, and initially I wanted to have him to be a monster. That was like when I was talking to the characters, the guy drawing the wiener man for me, that I wanted him to be like the porn monster.
Mm.
And he evolved, instead of being the porn monster, to being Raging Richard. And because of my anger that I uncovered after I stopped masturbating to porn, and so I agree with you on slaying the porn dragon. And though it's evolved for me a little bit, and like you were saying, it's there to teach us. There's something there for us to learn. So it's not so much, it's like, why is this porn monster here? Like, what is he trying to teach us? There's a lesson here. And as Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich likes to say, in any failure or adversity is the seed of an equal or greater positive benefit.
Mm, love that.
So
Another powerful book there, the Think and Grow Rich one. I want to maybe I don't want to challenge you, Eric, but I want to maybe see if there's a little bit different way that we can look at this. I think looking at pornography as a monster is giving it too much credit. I think that's putting it up on a pedestal, like that this thing is really, really strong. I think the monster is inside of us that we need to conquer. And I think in the path of doing that, we realize that, like, this thing that we thought had power over us, this is your story, right? You felt you were powerless over it, and then you had to reverse that and say, I'm the powerful one. So I'm the one that's going to overcome the monster inside of me. The pornography is not the monster. That's what I'm running to when the monster in my life is coming up at me. So just a little bit different of a way, but I see a lot of men, they do that though. They put the pornography up so high on a pedestal that it's this thing that we're never going to be able to conquer. And just that thought is so limiting to growth, to potential, and the ability to transform our lives.